Hey folks, welcome back to SE Haulers. I am Saxophone, and I guess in part one of this video, I went over the Esperia Prowler Utility, and my review of it wasn't very good. Since then, and that was 2 days ago, CIG has made a couple of changes and possibly fixed some bugs that I encountered. But the big thing that I really want to talk about and discuss is something that Saltemike said, and I briefly mentioned it at the end of last video that, and I'm paraphrasing, and I'll show the clip for you to see too, but he essentially said any cargo ship with less than 100 SCU of cargo is worthless right now. Like, current gameplay model, it's useless until something further comes out in the future.
I have no feelings towards ships that are less than 100 SCU in cargo capacity. Right? Like, I really haven't seen. Well, now I'm assuming that can hold only 4 mining bags, right? So it's not even really a good mining related ship. Cargo, I've not quite seen a reason yet in the game for the smaller ships to exist. You can start out with a couple of small missions, but you quickly find yourself outgrowing that in the game. Drug Runner, maybe. I think drug running has been revitalized in either 4.2 or 4.1.1. So
now I don't know about drug smuggling or anything like that, so I can't speak to it. If somebody else does know about drug smuggling, feel free to add your comment down below. But that being said, I think Mike is right in this. Currently there is no gameplay loop that will expand the need for smaller cargo hauling ship, and I think that's what I was trying to say in the last video, but I wasn't really getting my point across as well as Mike did here, which is why I'm using him as an example. So that said, if you enjoy your small cargo hauling ships for whatever reason, whatever gameplay loop you use it in currently, continue to use it. I'm not saying don't use your small cargo hauling ships. They are fun. I'd love the Intrepid, for example, but it only holds 8 SCU and it's a starter ship. So it's like, for cargo hauling purposes, late game, there's nothing for me to use it for. But I wanted to show you this specifically. What you see on screen is me going from trainee to junior rank in PTU, and just how quickly this gets done. The reason I'm showing how quickly it gets done is because human nature dictates that we want to do things in the most efficient way possible, right? So with that in mind, majority of people are going to want to do this as quickly as possible and make money as quickly as possible. And by the end of all this, you can see my timer hits like 27, 28 minutes. And let's take a look at these. I'm going to show you, I'm at trainee Covalex rank. I have 4 hauling missions, plus the 1 trainee mission I completed. I'm going to send this all down. At almost exactly 28 minutes. You can see now I'm at the end of the rookie bar, but that is enough to push you over into junior rank. You'll see these junior rank missions are popping up. And look, by Genia Riker, 88 SCU. That's a rookie, junior. And this one has you going to multiple locations. Small SCU, multiple locations, small. This is rookie. But I just wanted to point out here, like, as you get these missions at junior rank that have you going to multiple locations, or a single location that has a large amount of cargo, you're going to need more cargo space to either separate the cargo or to have just enough space to even complete the mission. And so now, if you're just doing cargo hauling missions, the Prowler has been phased out, essentially. Once you get to member rank and you're doing those, it's been phased out completely. Now, if you watch more of that video from Mike on the Prowler, one of the things he asked in that particular segment that I showed was, or not him, but one of his viewers asked if you can put the ATLS on the cargo grid. And you can. It works the same way. The cargo grid though, or excuse me, the Atlas is a 2x3. So you can put a 2 SU container at the end of that, at the end of this cargo grid here. And I don't know why this chair is special, but apparently it is. But that being said, you should only be able to fit 4 SU of cargo at the very end in 2 SU containers on this cargo grid. Just the back side of the Atlas prevents you putting an 8 SU container on this grid. Also, I thought I recorded it already, but I guess I didn't. But it looks like they fixed the animation issue with the Atlas being attached to cargo grids. What was happening is you could get into an Atlas while it was attached to a cargo grid, and it would stay attached because it would lock you in an animation. And that is no longer happening. So as soon as you get into the Atlas, it drops to the ground. It flips over, drops to the ground. So be mindful of that, because while it's flipping or doing any of that stuff, you may get stuck in the ship or fall through the hangar floor, whatever the case may be. But it will not stay attached to the cargo grid anymore. One of the things that I complained about in my previous Prowler video is the cross-section of the Prowler was 10.4. Like, if your cross-section as a stealth ship is 10.4, you are going to be seen. And I know there's other factors that play into that, but the Prowler is still going to be seen at some point once you get close enough with the 10.4 cross-section. But that being said, this is one of my favorite parts still to this day. It's just going through the jump gate. Anyways, what CIG did yesterday was they reduced the cross-section by 50%. And it may be hard to see, but now the cross-section is 4.2. So what we're going to do is kind of a practical test here. We went over to the Lazarus Test Site, and what I want to see is, does the Prowler have the capability to like take weapons off of a ship? And I mean, take them off of the ship if the ports were still locked. But it looks like there's a SU container right here. Oh, say hello to the Wicklow Prowler. Okay, there we go. Now that's attached. There is a Cuddy Blue here. I believe the shields are turned off. Let's see here. It's just trying to pick up the whole ship. Yeah, no matter where I aim, just tries to pick up the whole ship. So it looks like ports still need to be unlocked. Shields need to be down, which is no surprise. Even with the tack here, I try to hit that side turret gun and just it defaults to the tack. So I think if you're not in a party with somebody, you can't actually pull cargo off of a hull C. Like, the ports need to be unlocked in a similar way. But I'm not sure. Oh god, there's a ship. Oh, get out of here, get out of here. Don't actually know if that was a ship. That might have been the tram. That being said, once live comes out and I actually have access to my hull C, I will test that. Alright, well, let's see what loot I have. Is it going to let me open it from there? I got the option, but... oh, but I can do it from here. Wow. Nothing too crazy, but some heavy Crusader armor. 3 sets of 3 full sets of Crusader armor. And on top of it, we got this Salvage Skull 8 SU container, which I don't think they offer on the Pledge Store anymore. Did they ever offer it on the Pledge Store? I don't know. I think I saw it on there once. That being said, final things about the Prowler. I think in the last video I said that in the co-pilot seat you couldn't use quantum drive. You can now. So if you're not planning on using weapons, then you don't need to hop in the pilot seat. You can just do everything from the co-pilot seat. Obviously, if you have 2 people, you got 2 seats for that. But look at that, gang. We stole somebody's 8SU container. I don't actually know if they were there to get it or not, but now it's ours. We actually used the Prowler utility the way it was intended. Huzzah! But all that being said, the Prowler has gotten some improvements. I still think that they need to change the size 4s back to size 5s just because there is a lack of firepower. But then again, the Prowler, the regular Prowler is the military version. This is a stealth cargo version. Like, does it need the firepower? I would appreciate having size 5s back. I'm sure a lot of other people would as well. I'm curious where they're going to go with stealth. It was advertised that you could stealthily take people's cargo. And if you're planning on doing that, you only have a handful of open cargo decks. The hull A, the hull C, the raft, eventually the hull E. But it's like, still this is 32 SU of cargo. Where's it going to go? Like, what is the gameplay loop that we're missing here? But that being said, I am Saxawine. This is SC Haulers. We've been flying the Prowler Utility. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want to watch more videos from me and know when they're coming out. Thank you all for watching. Love you, bye.